All right, y'all, we have an interview ready for y'all. Let's head it over to SpikeVegeta and JHobz. Show us what's up.
Hey folks, I'm SpikeVegeta, and that's JHobz over there.
I got shorter. Hi.
But we are here with two fantastic runners, marathonman and DragonBlitz. I almost just said DB out of habit for you.
I mean,
MMDB.
you know.
Yeah, fair. We're going to be running some games for us this week. Spike, what are we doing today, though?
Yeah, so Hobbs, I'm really glad that you got to be on with me for this segment because one thing I know about us is we always love learning. We love just learning about speedrun tricks, speedrun tech. And I thought, you know what? Let's have two of our favorite speed games in the world, Ratchet & Clank, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, both represented here in a game of, we also like sports, so let's play a little game of basketball without the basketballs. Let's play a game of horse, but without the horse either. Just keep following me here, don't worry about it. We're gonna see who spells out GDQ. If you spell out GDQ, you lose. We're gonna be going back and forth, showcasing some of the flashiest, coolest, and just awesome, maybe easier to learn pieces of tech that you can get in both of these games. Going back and forth, we will delegate, we will give a very serious ranking about who did better, and the other person will gain a letter, eventually spelling to GDQ, and whoever loses that, sorry, the winner will get a Red Bull and a bag of Doritos. It'll be great. Yeah.
I really need that. You have no idea.
I'm in.
We're low on those, believe it or not. Yeah. So.
And I do want to reiterate that this does definitively decide which game is cooler looking.
Okay.
Which
we
one
are
is in the marathon?
This obviously will fully decide. But I think we were going to start with DragonBlitz showing us something from Symphony of the Night. We're going to show some gameplay here. So DB, you want to set this up for us? Let us know what we're going to be seeing.
Yeah, so right here, if we are ready to go.
If we can show that gameplay.
There.
Ooh, that was fancy.
So this is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the greatest Metroidvania of all time, in my opinion. I'm going to be showcasing a bit of very basic movement tech, but very, very powerful. This is momentum preservation. So I'm going to build up a lot of speed here using the wolf, the fastest form of ground movement that we have. And I'm going to build up to max speed, and then I'm going to transform. And the momentum gets carried the entire time until you eventually go to a stop. This is used everywhere throughout the run. That's the fastest way to do it. You could also get momentum through a backdash into a transformation. So you can start into a transformation a little bit faster. Same with dive kicks. So starting off a little light, you know.
Yeah, this is like when you walk up and you're like, let's do our basics. Let's get our fundies in. We're going to do a layup and everything. Okay, so let's see Marathon Man if we would like to. I want to see what you've got going as well. But first, just DB, how excited are you to be doing so in another marathon?
Oh, it's fantastic as always. This is my favorite game of all time. I'm coming up on 11 years of speedrunning this game, so always a beautiful chance to showcase what I have to show about this game that I love so much. And Reverse Boss Order is the craziest run possible, really. It wasn't thought to be possible until just a few years ago. So
awesome. If we could switch back to our cameras for a brief second so we can get that Ratchet and Clank going. But Marathon Man, you want to kind of set us up a little bit on what we are going to be looking at?
Man, there's so many things in Ratchet and Clank. I think,
so loaded with tech.
Yeah, I'm not kidding when I say there's like 100 different ways you can move. I think we counted there's like 9 different ways to infinite jump alone in this game.
That's incredible. Well, what do you think you want to show us first?
So I'm gonna show off something we're gonna see a little bit later on in the Ogle Bolts run, because we're gonna get an item about 2/3 of the way through called the PDA. And the PDA is what allows all those infinite jumps to happen, but it can be used for so much more. So what I'm gonna show off right now they're kind of like these like start and stop chains you can do with the helipack. And you can see like, with every one, just getting faster and faster.
Oh, that's a pretty big launch. But yours also ended in dying, so I don't know.
Well, what's great about the PDA is you can combine it with all sorts of things. So,
oh my God.
Here's 2 different ways to infinite jump right there.
All right, bring in the heat already.
Yeah,
I see how it is.
in round one,
right,
we're
well,
clipping
game is-
through.
We're gonna have to stop you there because you can't be giving away everything. All right, we got trick versus trick. So we got momentum conservation versus infinite jumping, effectively, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
see, Spike. What do you think?
Yeah, so like I love DB immediately starting off with momentum conservation. It seems like a very small thing, but I love anytime, like I play games like the Donkey Kong Country games and whatnot, anytime you can create that, that's a lot of fun. It's very easy to visualize and get excited about. Obviously, we've also got some very unintended gameplay going on here from
Just a little
Marathon
bit.
Man in Ratchet and Clank. Immediately we're flying around, and this is round one. Like I said, bringing the heat. What's your feeling?
I agree with you. Momentum conservation in any form is super cool, and speedruns, it always draws me to them. But I don't know. I think I got to give it to the infinite jumps here.
Yeah,
It's maybe a little bit of my Ratchet Clank bias coming in. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't think that's going to happen the whole time. I'm trying to be. Okay, so we got.
DB's about to take the gloves off. But you do have you're a G now.
DB's like, I'm jumping to the fourth thing I was going to do next.
Nah,
Okay.
it's fine.
But no, yeah, so
DB's OG.
going here into round two, Marathon Man, we're going to kick it right back to you. If you've got a second spot, you want to showcase some tricks off to us, we can switch back over to the game feed.
All right, yeah. So this is actually something that is pretty new for this year, honestly. It's kind of been a thing we've been experimenting with a bunch over the last year or two now, which is the camera as a physical object.
Oh.
Which, normally means, okay, you can press it up against walls and maybe it, gets a little annoying. But we found lots of things you can do. So one of the things we're going to see a lot, if I head on over to this corner and I get the bomb glove out, can jam the camera in the corner, and when it comes up against me,
What?
What? Wait. What?
Did you just jump off the camera? There's no way.
Oh, dude. Oh, no. How am I supposed to beat that?
That's nuts. Unbelievable.
Wait, so is that what happens? You jump off the camera?
That's
What-
actually
Yeah.
what's happening.
the camera pushes up against you and you can launch right over top of it.
That's incredible. I've seen a whole bunch of Ratchet.
I love this because
That-
you
that's
genuinely don't
brand
know this.
new. As of the last few months or so now.
Okay, let's switch over.
All right.
DB, top that.
DragonBlitz over here. He's got the hands.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, give him a
Got him
second to
mentally.
think. Tell us,
man.
walk us through your process. What are you thinking here, maybe?
Alrighty, well, I can showcase a very famous glitch in Castlevania Symphony of the Night. We're going to be going out of bounds, and one of the most fun ways that I love to go out of bounds is by using our good friend, the doggo here. I'm going to be using a trick called map buffering. I'm essentially pulling up the map to confirm a visual cue. I needed a frame-perfect map buffer there. So as soon as, this is a little bit of that momentum preservation from before. The transformations in this game preserve momentum for a little while, so I'm going to be untransforming while I have momentum against this slope, and if you are pixel perfect and frame perfect with your button presses essentially, you can very precisely clip into the floor.
Oh my God. First try.
I'm going to ask a follow-up question for these two now. So, Marathon Man, what does that do for you in the run? Like the trick you did? How much time does it save, or like where is that skipping?
It saved a lot of time because without the PDA, like I said, there's like 9 different ways to infinite jump, but without it, there's not really a whole lot of ways to get a lot of height. There is another trick called slope intercept that you needed like a surface and you had to like crouch in it, and you would just kind of stack high jumps over and over, but it was like very specific spots. Now, as long as you can get the camera underneath you like that, you can do this pretty much anywhere, and they're really fast, and they save a lot of time.
Okay, and then DB for you. I know I've seen a Soten run and know that you do that quite a few times. Like, I've definitely seen that before.
Yeah, depending on the run, over the course of like the longer categories, anytime you can clip into the floor, you're usually saving anywhere from like 5 to 10 seconds usually. Sometimes you can save upwards of 40 seconds to go into an area in an unintended way. So you can even skip like key progression items by doing stuff like this. This particular floor clip that I showed off saves about 8 seconds because it allows you to leave the library much quicker than normal.
All right, Spike, we got some context now for these two. What do you think?
It almost makes it more impressive to me that like all of this is DB was like, hey, here's a frame perfect, pixel perfect trick, and with all sorts of creativity around like pause buffering and whatnot. And just DB's been playing the game like a god for like 10 plus years now. Showed it off first try. And at the end of the day, like that's speedrunning at its core. This absolutely ridiculous trick, 8 seconds.
Right, yeah, I know, right? But also potentially upwards of 40 seconds and done a lot in like these longer categories and stuff. I don't know, standing on the camera is ultimately like super cool as well, but I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that you have to do that like frame perfect buffer, like see a visual cue. Where are you leaning?
I think we're giving a G to the Marathon Man. You're both a G right now. That actually canonically checks out. This is speedrunning to me.
I did not think this was going to be this hard.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
To decide.
These are 2 rounds in. All right, well, let's immediately jump back in. DragonBlitz, you're kicking off this one. Just tied it back up. Round 3, what do you got for us?
Okay, so this next trick was very recently discovered via a understanding of how the game's debugging process works.
Okay.
So when they were first programming this game, they had various different like debug codes that they would use to like test certain things. Most of those got taken out of the final version of the game. This is the one instance of a debug code that was left in the game.
Oh.
So this only works in very specific versions of the game, by the way. But I'm going to showcase exactly what I am skipping. So this is just some movement tech to get to this room over here, which opens, you press this switch and it spawns the Donkey Kong skeleton to blow up that bridge.
Oh my God, he is.
Yeah, it's Donkey Kong.
He's just dead.
I don't know what they did to him, but yeah. So the whole premise of this is that you spawn the Donkey Kong there, and then oh hey, Donkey Kong's over here too. That's so awesome. And you're supposed to lure him over and like blow up this bridge by essentially like having him throw the barrel at you.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that. By doing a specific button combo on the controller, you can essentially force the explosion whenever you want. And over and over and over and over again. This is in the original release of the game on the PlayStation 1, essentially. And yeah, this saves 40 seconds.
That's
just pressing a button combo.
Yeah, and you're not, what is the button combo out of curiosity?
You need to have a second controller plugged in.
Okay.
And then you press triangle on the second controller. But the controller needs to be plugged in before you boot up the game, otherwise it doesn't.
Yeah. Otherwise.
I think what helps send that over the top a little bit is the fact that you can repeat it over and over.
Oh, yeah.
Keep seeing the explosion without the bridge reforming. Okay, well, Marathon Man, all right, how are you going to top a bridge just blowing up over and over and over again?
Let's see what we can cook up here.
Okay.
I love the menuing in Ratchet and Clank, how quickly you can just get between planets.
Yeah, it is nice. So Marathon Man, first in-person GDQ like showing here and everything.
Yeah.
How are you feeling leading up to your own?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah?
I'm very excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, make sure to stick around. Everyone will be doing their run right after Mega Man 9 with Slurpee Ninja, right after this. So,
Okay.
What do we got here?
All right, so keeping with the theme again, character is a physical option. This is something else that we've kind of experimented with the past like year or two, but again, we're gonna jam the camera into the wall here, and I held it for too long, so it pushed me back out, but that's okay. As soon as we see the glass, you can flip right through.
Oh, man.
Jump right through it.
Is there another video game in speedrunning history where the camera is a physical object? Yeah, like Mario's not jumping off a Lakitu or anything.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, we need to keep looking. And again, you said this
some of them.
super new tech.
Yeah.
Found it. Yeah. That's
Okay.
real.
Just because I also know how ridiculous sometimes just being able to get out of a room in Ratchet and Clank means.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's my leaning right now, Spike. I don't know about you.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Golly, I really like the visual.
I
of
do
the
really
bridge
like
blowing
the bridge
up a million
blowing up too,
times.
though.
I think of the two, I'm gonna leave this one up to you because I'm biased because Donkey Kong was in so.
Okay, well, here, we're going a little long anyways. Why don't we just give them both a letter and say that one was
All
a
right,
draw?
they're both
That one was a
Kadi.
draw.
All right, then we got one round left right here. We're gonna be kicking off with Marathon Man. You got one trick left in you. What are you feeling, bud?
So,
We're gonna fall.
probably.
They can't see this, but we're
They can't see from There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so I was asked off camera, which, in my opinion, is the best Ratchet and Clank game to run. And
You incorrectly answered.
I correctly said Ratchet 1. I love Ouya. I love all the games.
Hold it.
They're so great. But I think one of the big appeals to me about Ratchet 1 and why it's my favorite of the games to run is because of how mechanical a lot of the tricks are.
For sure.
And so the kind of big, notable, quirky thing about this game, you guys see this mud here?
Uh-huh.
It's it's pretty special.
I was gonna say, I know what this is. TV, good luck. Like, I knew this trick would be showing up.
Yep. As soon as you said 5 tricks that best show off the game, I said, I know where we're going.
Oh my gosh.
And that skips this entire plan. We can go straight to the boss room.
And that's just a property of the mud being underneath you that somehow it's refunding your jump or something?
Like you can basically just cancel the long jump here and the side flip here over and over and over. So like I'm fluttering R1 and R2 over and over and over while jumping.
And it is
all across
not
the mud
easy.
there.
Like,
it's not, because if you drop either R1 or R2 or any input at that point, the whole thing's gonna get
it's over. Yeah, you then have to like either, if you have the PDA, like try to or if not, then you're done. All right.
That's a girl. DB, a bag of Doritos is on the map.
Dude, I'm so hungry. All right, let me see if I can set up this trick right here.
Okay.
You got your third dimensional jank and all that stuff. We're here in a 2D plane. I'm gonna be showcasing a glitch that requires a toadstool item. This is my favorite glitch in the entire game because it saves, at best, 1 second. But the consequences of doing this glitch are, well, I'll just show it right here. I'm clipping through the floor into a load zone. This is what saves the 1 second.
No!
Getting into this area 1 second faster. But the consequence is, now you have to run through this area with corrupted graphics the entire time. So you need to essentially memorize exactly what this room looks like, every single room in this like corrupted state, if you want to take full advantage of what this room, of speedrunning through these rooms. So this is pretty much all to save 1 second. Otherwise, you just have to go around.
Yeah. Otherwise, your movement, like if it's even a little not precise, then all of a sudden, you're losing that one.
Yeah, like this room, for example, is full of spikes, and like you can't see them because of the way that the room is like corrupted. Normally, it is also dark in this room. But there's all sorts of other things, like enemies are covered by like corrupted graphics, so you need to know where enemies are at all times. Yeah, stuff like that.
Dude, we told them to bring it, and they both brought it for the last one.
Absolutely. These are 2 of my favorite speedruns in the world. I'm so glad both of them are getting showcased here at this GDQ. As far as handing out the Q in GDQ,
how are you feeling? I want to know your thoughts first.
God, this is just so visually beautiful. What's going on screen right now? I'm leaning this way. What are you feeling?
The Ratchet community is gonna be so mad at me. I'm sorry, I gotta give it to TV because of just the way that you have to know every enemy. You gotta move through the whole thing without it being able to see what's going on at all. Cineflips, I think, would have beaten every other one that we did.
But that was my number 5. But.
I know, but unfortunately, sometimes you think the 3-pointer, the person follows it up, and they follow it with a half-court shot, and they get the Hail Mary. So.
2 of the most developed speedruns of all time are going to be showcased here at GDQ. Again, we've got DragonBlitz on
Thursday at like 10 p.m.
At like 10 p.m. doing Castlevania Symphony of the Night reverse boss order. Lots of bosses. It's going to be very fun to see how you blow through that game and destroy all those bosses so quickly in the reversal order. And coming up right after this next run of Mega Man 9 by Slurpee Ninja, we have got the one, the only Marathon Man going to be taking down Ratchet Clank. All gold bolts. Don't go anywhere, and make sure to donate to an amazing cause. Gamers, we're going to be kicking it back up to the front for Mega Man 9. See y'all soon.
Thank you so much for that. You are watching Summer Games Done Quick 2024. My name is Bobby Blackwolf. I am thrilled to be your host, and I know the Earth's rotation says that summer started a couple days ago. I think actually summer started today with these great speed runs. We've got a lot more coming, but first, we want to have a word from one of our sponsors.